you guys for tuning in. I apologize for the delay. You have no idea what kind of technical difficulties we were having behind the scenes. It took all three of us to work vigorously to get the camera working, and I think I sweated the rest of my hair out.
You know what happens. I've said this before.
Here we go, see?
He did really good maintaining his composure today.
I maintain my composure every day.
No. Usually he gets like angry and can't function, and it's not good.
I do function. Even I function better when I'm angry.
But he realized teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, the dream came true because we are live. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful day. I just got to take care of some housekeeping things real quick. This is going to be an interactive live, okay? I may not see all of your comments, but we will address all of your comments either if we see them again on the live or if they're directed to us by Shayla when she's off the camera. And if not, we will definitely comment in the comment section, okay? Do understand it takes about 5 to 10 seconds from the time that you post something till the time that we see it. So we might actually be on to another topic in the conversation by the time your comment comes through, but we will acknowledge it the best we can. If you're looking for that shout out and I don't see your name, put it in the comment section and where you're from, and you will get that shout out that you're looking for. But first and foremost, it's Coach Clee, your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker, Coach Clee, coming at you. I need to know some things. You know what I'm about to ask, right?
Yeah.
I know you do, because you watch the show and you're part of the show. What am I about to ask?
I feel like I haven't been here in a while.
I know you have been absent a few times. I had to carry your end of the show many times. I did. The load, and I did it pretty good.
Because I'm a busy person. I have all of my commitments.
And you're on the board or something,
yeah.
and you volunteer somewhere else, and you do something else. Yeah, highly impressive.
Yeah.
However, she doesn't take care of her duties in the lab.
I know, I've been failing.
Yes. Yes,
but I'm here.
Yeah.
With positives.
I'm trying to get there. I was trying to get there.
Hey, Amina. Hey, Patty.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Please tag, like, and share. Right now, I need to know what the energy levels are. I need to know what the energy levels are like. So if you had a good day today, I need you to put a 1 in the comment section. Put a 1 in the comment section if you had a good day today. And you know, I don't believe in bad days. I like to call them character building days because they're necessary for growth. You can always learn from them. They help you grow. They make you appreciate the outstanding days that much more better, because you have a bad day, it sets you back. It's not good. It's all the above. You can tell I haven't done this in a while because I'm fumbling over my words, but I don't care. I don't care. If you had a character building day, I need to put a 2. It looks like a peace sign. Put a 2 in the comment section if you had a character building day. Put a 2 in the comment section if you had a character building day, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. She's interrupting. She knows the spiel.
It's been a while, so I need to see.
What's your question?
So the moment that you had before this, was that a 2? Was it character building?
That was a character building moment. That wasn't a character building day. That was a character building moment. You see, throughout the course of a day, you know, you have moments that are kind of like commas, that are just like the pauses where you can, because you can have an outstanding day, then you can have that comma where, you know, I don't like going to the grocery store. You know that. People don't abide by the rules in the grocery store, and people cut you off. They do so many things. So I can have a great day. I go to the grocery store. That'll be a comma. That'll be a 2 moment in my life until I leave the grocery store, and then the rest of the day will be great again. Does that make sense?
Which is why he didn't go the entire pandemic when we were really shut down. I mean, he did not get to experience the arrows, things being shut off. You never would have.
I can't even get through the intro.
Sorry.
Look at that. Look at this.
All right.
You can tell she is officially back because, you know, she takes over the show, and I can't even get past it to the next thing.
I missed it.
So if you had an outstanding day like I did, I had a great day. I got to sleep in. I got to take care of some things. If you had an outstanding day, I need you to put a 0 in the comment section. Put a 0 in the comment section if you had an outstanding day. It's kind of like this is a bubble, and you're right there in the middle of that bubble.
Penetrate that like I'm doing right now.
Well, something just penetrated it, so I guess it's not that outstanding.
Yeah, it exploded.
At the end of this live, I was planning on putting a 0 at the end in the comment section, but it's probably going to change to a 2, like a peace sign. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. I had an outstanding day. What kind of day did you have? What are you going to put in the comment section?
A 0 day. You know, it's been a little bit of a crazy week for me. I know you didn't ask all of this, but I was in California at the beginning of the week.
You were.
And here I am, so I'm a little tired. Trying to get caught up with work and just life and everything. And it's a tough transition when you do that, but I had a great time. Congratulations to my cousins, the Kellys. They'll be having a new baby girl very soon, so I'm excited about that and excited that I got to go celebrate with family and get away for a little bit and give this guy a break. But he missed me. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So 0. I don't even know if I answered.
You did
Be a
answer.
0.
You
Okay.
did. You did. You see, for someone who's shy and never wanted to sit right there in the chair, they all do take over the show often, don't they? It's okay. It's okay. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask the guests. Some of you know them, some of you may not. I'll introduce them momentarily. But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, Work with Clee, the website's listed above. But if you haven't already subscribed, check out the Facebook page, which are already on. It's labeled Coach Clee. Hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button. We also have the YouTube page. We're not live from YouTube right now, but this video will be uploaded to YouTube. Check out the YouTube page and subscribe to that. That's also Coach Clee. Check the website out. Like I said, it's posted above, workwithclee.com. And on that website, we got a bunch of tremendous things on that website, do we not?
We do.
We do. First and foremost, we're going in, this March will be 3 years now, huh? 3 years since the debut. My first book, March 4th. It's a motivational empowerment book on helping you find your own breakthrough. We talk about toxic people, toxic situations. We talk about courage. We talk about taking care of yourself. We talk about, it's a guide or a roadmap for a better life. You know, I was at a low point in my life when I was writing this book, and it helped me come to a better plateau, a better pinnacle in life. And I got my own breakthrough, and I would like other people to get their own breakthrough too as well. March 4th, that's on the website.
And you got Shayla through that breakthrough.
Wow, we are being extra today, huh? We are being fully extra. And how that happened, since you want to throw that in there.
We talked about this.
We
Everybody
did?
knows
Okay.
I bought the book.
You
and
did?
The rest is here.
Yeah.
Here.
And the rest is history. Now this is going to be Coach Shayla's show. No? Okay. Shayla Showcase.
We're not
There we
there
go.
yet. Come on.
Also on the website, second book, No Shade, All Light. Herb Thompson, Clarence Stokes, Jason Brown, and myself, we all co-wrote this book. It's 25 of our favorite quotes and what they mean to us. So it's over 100 quotes in this book, and it definitely has meaning. If you're looking for a devotional or something just to go through, read daily, day by day, to get some inspirational quotes, this is your book to get. And last but definitely not least, June 1st, this is the book I'm most proud of. I worked on this. I worked on all of them a lot, but it's a growing process. So throughout, I gained a little bit more knowledge. I worked a little bit harder because I knew what to put in, what to expect in the book. #grudge. This book, for those of us who hang on to grudges, hang on to anger, hang on to our mistakes, so many different setbacks and negativity in life. Les Brown said it best. It's kind of like you holding a grudge against somebody is like you holding a hot piece of coal and expecting the person that you're mad at to get burnt when really they have no idea that you're holding that piece of coal. You're only harming yourself. Let that thing go and start the healing process. This is another road guide or map to help you throughout that process. That's on the website as well. And if you know me, tag, like, and share. Inbox me, text me, or get a hold of me. I do have copies on hand. I can get them to you. Those are all on the website. And we have some wonderful apparel that's not on the website, but we can get that to you. Thank you. Sorry, that took a lot to get through. You want to go through it? Shayla's Showcase is up next.
Sorry,
you know she loves being in the spotlight.
I know, but I feel pressure because I feel a little, I don't know, I haven't had experience. It's like my first day on the show again. Sheesh. But anyway, moving on to the fabulous businesses that I'll talk about. Author, I'll go over that as well. Just making sure that we are supporting our local businesses, local authors, events that are happening. Some are happening virtually. I know things are getting a little tricky again, so I'm not sure if we're going to go back into any kind of lockdown, but make sure, especially as we approach the holiday season, that you are supporting local businesses. There are so many, and we've featured so many over the last couple of months. You know, we're blessed to have people that still supported the Coach Clee show during that time and things like that. So it's really important that we do give back when you're shopping, you know, for holidays, however you celebrate. Make sure you look at a small business to give back to.
Absolutely. Hello, Heather. I saw your comment. Thank you for tuning in. Please tag, like, and share.
How'd you see that?
Some of them come through, not all of them.
All right. So moving on, we have Juliet Nicole Jones. In today's society, we see sheroes and we see heroes, but we don't always see what happens behind the scenes of overcoming or maintaining their superhuman abilities and balancing entrepreneurship aligned with work, life, and parenting. This book is an empowering guide featuring bold and truthful advice from several men and women sharing the story of how they do it all. The co-author's edition is the all-in-one resource you need to create your survival guide toolbox with easy-to-use strategies backed by real-life stories, inspirational encouragement, and the tools needed to overcome challenges faced by today's parentpreneurs. Leading author is Juliet Jones, and you can find that book on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. I think a lot of people could, you know, I think with the pandemic and things like that. Are you still on, or did you didn't zoom into me? Good. Sometimes you do, so it looks like I'm talking to nothing. But why are you laughing?
Because
usually you do say
I
that.
didn't, because we had technical difficulty. I did not want to mess with the camera.
I appreciate that. But anyway, I think during the pandemic, one thing is a lot of people have become entrepreneurs or found things that they're passionate about in all the downtime. So I think this book would be great because now a lot of parents are trying to figure out virtual school, partial school, you know, all of that stuff. And I know it's tough. It's tough for me. So I know there's other parents that could definitely benefit by that as well. And then moving on, we have Carter's Drink to Shrink, which they were guests on the show. It's been a little bit
about
now.
2 months now. Jaye Jones was a guest on the show too.
Yes, absolutely, she was. That was a lot longer. It was
Almost
like,
a year.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on to Carter's Drink to Shrink. They were guests not too long ago, and we got to try some of their new products. But make sure you check them out. They have an all-natural detox juice that really works and tastes amazing, and I can speak to that. Coach Clee can speak to that as well. It's comprised of 9 herbs, all specifically combined to combat belly fat and release the body of toxins, waste, and parasites that could be living in our colons, and intestines, making it difficult to lose weight. The drinks are consumed in 8-ounce servings, 2 to 3 times per day. Please remember they are not meal replacements. Actually, what the Carters provide to you when you get their drinks is they actually give you a meal guide that'll help you have a balanced meal along with taking the detox juice. You can lose up to 5 pounds in 5 days. Make sure you check them out on all of their different handles because they are always offering different deals. I love it because you never know what you might wake up to. A great deal in the morning, something at night. I do love that Amina is always posting different things and tips and tricks and things like that. You can check them out at www.cartersdrink2shrink2.com, or you can give them a call at 1-833-2SHRINK. I love that phone number. Or join their Facebook group at Carter's Drink to Shrink. So that's all I have on Shayla's Showcase.
There you go. You did a wonderful job. Very, very. I'm very proud of you. I was laughing. I was laughing because of one of the comments that came through. That's all. I don't remember. I'm not gonna repeat it.
And I have one more thing to say. This is not political in any way, but please make sure you vote. No matter how you vote, please make sure you get out there and vote. It is really important. Like I said, I won't go into parties, but it's just important that you exercise your rights to vote. That's all.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, I see.
Why are you looking at me?
Because.
Oh, you're not moving it at all?
No. Listen, if you understood all the technical difficulty we had, I am not going to mess with the camera at all. I'm keeping it stand right here. We're going as is.
Okay. So you guys are going to see me get up.
Yeah, right.
You get to see my whole outfit. Like, that's just not what I wanted.
I'm sorry. Days go from 0 to 2 in a minute.
I'll see you next week. Yeah. I'll see you guys next week. Next week, right?
Yeah, well, you'll see me on the other end of the camera while you're directing the comments.
Always takes one person, yes. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. I got a special guest, like I said. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a world traveler because he does it by cruise ship. He loves going on cruises. He's also a movie and entertainment guru. I see his post a lot, and I'm very impressed. Sometimes I will watch a series or go watch a movie because of the ratings that he gives them. Okay? He's also a former swim club assistant manager. For over 3 decades, he's been a teacher, and I believe in his own right, he may change his mind, but I'm still going to give him the title. He is a math genius. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you James Jaye Yohe. We don't have any yet. We don't have a studio. Yeah, I put it out there. I'm sorry. I sure did. Give him some thumbs up. Give him some thumbs up. Give him some heart. Mr. Yohe.
I can't believe you got me here, Clee.
Yeah, I can't believe you came through. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we go way back.
We do.
It's been a long time. I had him as a student. We had some discussions before we went on air. Some we can talk about, some we probably won't.
Absolutely.
Clee was one of those students that was always charismatic even back then.
Thank you.
I had him in 2 classes. We were talking about the fact that in addition to being one of my students, he also helped me with things. Mm-hmm. You know, he at the time I was partially doing tech coordinator work at Susquehanna Township, and so he helped me with any tech issues I had. You took my computer class and did great in that.
Thank you. You see why I had him on the show, right?
Yeah, I can mostly say good stuff.
Yeah, I believe mostly. We're not going to talk about the other stuff. It is probably juicy. However, we're not going to focus on that. Mr. Yohe, though, I know you already started a little bit, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I grew up in a small town south of Pittsburgh called Charleroi, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
It's named after Charleroi, Belgium. Okay, spelled Charleroi. My parents, my dad was a steel worker. My mom was a nursery school teacher, and my sister, like me, is a teacher.
Okay.
I was there. I grew up there. I actually ended up going to Penn State to be an electrical engineer. I know. I actually have my BS in electrical engineering, believe it or not.
Wow.
I more refer to it as BS, but I do have it. And when I graduated from that degree, I wasn't that thrilled with it. I think my heart was always in teaching.
I believe that.
I don't know why, but so I had this call to get into teaching, so I went back, got my certification, got my Master's of Education in Math and Computer Science in a small school. I went from Penn State to California University, which is near Charleroi. You probably know. I don't know if you know where that is, but
I know. I've heard of the school itself, but I don't know exactly where.
And I had really unique opportunities. I got to work with a systems analyst, and back when computers were just on the forefront, there weren't too many personal computers, and so I got a lot of information from that. I got to be really good with computers back then. And then I didn't want to teach in a school district that was just like every other school district. I picked one. I researched and I found this school called Susquehanna Township. It was the diversity. It was the school that was calling to me. It just seemed magical. I actually got several offers. I got an offer in Frederick, Maryland. Wow. But I still chose Susquehanna Township.
Interesting.
And I stayed there for 24 years. And then I made a switch, and now I've been in Cumberland Valley for 6 years, and the switch has been great for me. I'm reinvigorated, and that's me. Now, my family, I'm married to Kathy. She runs the Shores Veterinary Emergency Clinic, and my oldest son is Josh, and he just graduated from Penn State, and my youngest is Drew. He's currently at Pitt as a sophomore.
Okay. I see a couple now I can see. All right, Mr. Porter's on. Said my man Jaye Yohe. There we go. Jay made me
watch zombie movies.
Watch zombie movies.
Gosh.
It terrified me. Now I love them.
Yeah, Ron does not like scary movies.
Z.
Ron Porter is not. He does not like horror movies. He doesn't like them. And so when we would have guys' nights at my house, and I would purposely find the worst one to try to scare. And now he actually watches them. Wow. He's actually not as afraid.
He's another former guest on the show, another former teacher of mine. He was my senior year was the first year I had Mr. Porter for class, and he was the track coach then.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Mr. Porter and I were friends way back. Back when you were in school. He's moved on. He's a principal. He's head principal. He's the principal of Lincolnstown Middle School. Yep. Great guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like I was excited to have him on the show, I'm excited to have you on the show. I'm kind of nervous to have you on the show too. I still, even though I know him as an adult now, I still call him Mr. Yohe. Sometimes you just got to stick to those titles. You got to stick to those titles. And so I know you've been teaching. You gave a little bit of history on how and why you became a teacher. But what challenges have you been facing in the middle now that COVID has struck? How challenging is that teaching?
Well, one of the reasons why I agreed to come here, be put on a spot by you.
That's right.
Is I think that it's a good, at least an opportunity to talk about what is going on in the teaching with COVID. It is almost like science fiction. Really? I'm in this. My Cumberland Valley is using what's called the hybrid model. So I see each of my classes face to face 2 days. So like on Monday and Tuesday, I see one group of classes, half Monday, half Tuesday. Wednesday we do all our planning. Thursday, Friday I see the other half of the face-to-face.
Okay.
Now here's what's crazy. Then right after lunch I teach those same classes all over again to the students that are in virtual. And so basically you teach everything you do twice every single day, and it's I'm not going to paint a rosy picture. It's challenging.
I believe it is challenging.
One thing I did to make it a little bit better is I have a monitor that I have up on a pedestal, and I can see all my students in this. They're virtual, and they can raise their hand. I can call on them, and but if somebody would have told me I'd be in all their houses, I would have said there's no way that could ever happen.
Right.
And it's really hard. The worst, I guess the biggest challenge is we're required to put 3 asynchronous lessons up for every class we teach for every week. I have 3 different preps. One I teach completely on my own. I don't have anybody helping me. And it's to design those. First you have to make them so that you can record them. And then you have to record them and you have to try to make them so you don't bore the kids to tears. It's hard. Really one of the reasons I'm here too is please reach out to the teachers in your life. This is, we're doing it because we still have kids. We're trying to create the best way for them to learn despite all this, but we are really working our butts off.
Oh, well, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
And speaking out to reaching out to teachers, you reminded me off camera while we were discussing that I personally reached out to you. I do remember reaching out to you. I don't remember the scenario, but it was getting a refresher for job entry exams to get the career that I have now. And I was like, I just got to go back and hit my nose to the grindstone and ask the guru for a little bit of help for some genius advice.
I'm surprised you forget this. But you did. You came in and I helped you with a refresher with the math. And obviously, you passed the test. And wonderful police officer, a respected role model. No, I'm not taking the credit for that, but I'm telling you, you did come in and I gave you a little bit of a refresher before you took that test.
Thank you. Have Kimberly on. Hey Jay, I love your sister. I am also a teacher.
Yeah, that's my sister. She's watching from Maple View, which is in Charleroy, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I think she's with my mom right now. I think they're watching.
Oh, cool. Thank you guys for tuning in. Man, I'm glad you came in, and you got me out of my element. I hope you're a little bit out of your,
I'm out of my
comfort zone, and we're just going to have fun together. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. I know one of the topics that you wanted to talk about was the growth mindset.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit of information about that with us?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 30 plus years of teaching, and the one thing that my platform is that students should be willing to understand it's okay to make mistakes. When you make the mistakes, it's how you grow. It's what you do with those mistakes. If you take those mistakes and say, "Oh my gosh, I failed the test. I hate this class. I don't want to do it anymore," you're not gonna grow from it. So what you have to do is, and I'm not even talking failing. I'm talking maybe getting something a little less than you want. You need to look at that as an opportunity to grow. Yep. Maybe you need to do more work. Maybe you need to pay attention to your teacher. Maybe you need to go in for help. It's a little harder in COVID for that. But so I teach kids not to say things like, "I stink at math," or even, "I'm awesome at math." That's just the same. I want my students to realize, be willing to try. It's okay to fall, make a mistake, pick up the pieces and get going again. We have the only problem that I see, and I teach an honors pre-calc classes, so these are kids that are really, really brilliant. They're a little too grade conscious, and they aren't willing to try things that might make their grade drop a little bit. And the course is very rigorous, and so I preach, come on, have a growth mindset. Be willing to maybe fall a couple times, pick yourself back up.
Take a little risk.
It's my philosophy.
That's where growth does come from, taking that risk. And
you got to take the risk.
You learn the most in life, and math, also in life. When you fall down, and when you fall down hard, actually you learn the most. You're willing. You have no choice but to humble yourself, and you actually, once you pick yourself up, you learn from those moments, and you become a better person. Absolutely.
Well, when I read your book, I remember you talked about some of those moments in your life, and the thing is, Clee kept those quiet. He was very, as a young person, you didn't really tell us some of the struggles you were going through. But you grew. You had a growth mindset, and I recognized that in you many, many years ago.
Yes, he did. And chastised me for it when I was going the opposite direction.
Oh, I had to watch out for you a couple times.
Annie Polillo?
And that's Annie Polillo. Yes, she's one of my colleagues at Cumberland Valley. She's an amazing teacher. We went to see, we do things, we've had some fun. We went to a couple concerts together, a couple of the math teachers along with Neil. We went to see Chainsmokers when there was still concerts. And then that's Madonna Gabert. Madonna,
she loves and miss you, buddy.
Oh, she moved away from me. She was a Cumberland Valley teacher. Now she's down in North Carolina. She's also going through all the same challenges. Annie, Madonna, all my friends are going through these same challenges in the COVID world.
Yeah. It's a challenge to go through. It's a new way of life, honestly, until we come to some sort of normalcy, whatever that normalcy is going to be, or if this is going to be the new normal.
Oh, please don't say that.
It's still a challenge to get through. Trust me, I understand. So, I want to know what's it. Your coding course.
Okay.
Please explain. Please feel free to go ahead and talk about that from top to bottom.
Well, when I went back to get certified in teaching, I said I got my master's in math and computers. When I was at Penn State in electrical engineering, I found out like I enjoyed coding. It was a language called Fortran. And then when I got my master's degree, I actually learned how to code in COBOL. And then when I went to Susquehanna, I got pushed into teaching programming. And back then we had these computers. They were called TRS-80s. We called them trash 80s. They had no hard drives. So the kids would actually have to send me their work from a cassette. We had a cassette. I would play the cassette. It would send all their work to their computer. If the power would go out, they'd lose all their work. Jesse Rawls was in that class.
Wow.
I don't know if you know Jesse.
I do know Jesse.
And a lot of, and they would send this stuff back to me, and then I'd have to send it to them every day. So I went from that to then now I came back to Cumberland. When I came to Cumberland Valley, I ended up this great guy. His name's Keith. He's the only one I ever taught the programming class, but it got so popular they had to pull somebody else in, another. And I teach the intro class with him, which is Python and Visual Basic. And I tell you why I'm advocating for coding. First of all, it's not easy. It's like learning a new language, but it's when you want to develop your logical reasoning skills, it is just one of the most amazing things. And we need people doing that. We need women doing this.
Yeah.
And so we've been trying to we've gotten more women in the class, more amazing girls. But one thing I did want to say is we've even partnered with a company called Deloitte.
Okay.
You know where they're a company, and that's Keith kind of got this going.
Okay.
And we actually, we're not doing it during COVID, but they actually take our kids to Deloitte, show them what it's like to be a real coder, and
That's cool.
yeah, the program went from like the one teacher teaching to two teachers teaching it, full classes. All our classes are full. It's lots of excitement.
That's the effect that you have on things. Damon, I can tell he's an amazing teacher. He has him ready to go back.
He's ready to go back to school.
There we go. Yeah,
I like hearing that.
He's a good friend of mine. So
Okay.
to get a compliment from him, it has to be a big deal. Trust me, I never got one from him.
Well, you and I talked about the fact that when I was younger, I was a little bit more intolerant as a teacher. I maybe have pushed a little harder to kids. Now I'm a little bit more of a pushover.
Yeah.
Give more. I think I've changed in that regard. I think there should be a middle ground.
I should have met you in this stage of life. I probably would have gotten away with a lot more.
Well, there's a middle ground. Like you can't. You got to tell kids it's not okay to slack, but you also can't be so rigid that you don't give them a chance to fail.
Right.
And I definitely feel like I've moved. 14th chance, 15th chance kind of a teacher, as opposed to, hey, you already had 2 chances, 2 strikes.
Yeah.
I've changed.
When I was your student, I remember your golden threat for me that always pushed my button is, okay, if you're not going to do this, then I'm just going to have to make a phone call home. I'm like, well, there it goes.
Well, I remember how you thought, Mom, you had very high respect there, and if I ever had to call Mom, I think things would have been bad.
That would have been a game changer. Yeah.
But I also would love to have called her and told her how awesome you were too.
Yeah, well, you should have. I mean, you still can. She may be watching right now,
right.
so there's your opportunity.
He's a great kid.
Thank you.
And as I said before, Mrs. Charles tried to get me to do an interview for a Fox affiliate earlier this summer, and I said no. You asked,
That's right.
See, you have clout.
I appreciate
You got me
that.
here.
Yeah. But can you believe that he said he was nervous?
Oh yeah, I'm nervous.
I just don't get it.
Well, I know you have another question, but this might be the time to talk about this.
What's up?
Back when Clee and I were, teacher, student, when he was helping me out, for some strange reason, I'm just telling the story now because it just feels right.
Yeah.
He decided that he was going to take my brand new leather jacket.
I was going to get there, because it's a great story.
Without asking, I had to get to it now because this is just something I need. He took it off the chair, he put it on, he flexed, and he ripped it.
And that was the end of that jacket.
He ripped it completely.
That was the end of that jacket. I was very proud of that moment.
I couldn't believe it. You destroyed that jacket.
Was it new?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think a week old.
Oh, well.
I actually wore a leather jacket tonight just to kind of bring that memory
try
back.
it on?
No.
I mean, where is it?
No.
Would you hang it up?
I know that's a little out of order. I just had to bring that up.
It's all right. I remember it was a fun experience, and too, you know, I think the statute of limitations ran out on that, so I don't have to replace that.
No.
I'm sorry.
I think I'm actually over it now.
Okay.
It took a long time, but I think I'm actually over it.
That's not the first piece of. Let me word this correctly before I get a whole bunch of jokes. But that's not the first. I mean, something happened with your shoes.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
No,
what is it with you destroying my clothing?
I didn't. It wasn't on purpose. I mean, stop buying cheap clothes.
Hey. Well, back then I was, probably didn't have the kind of money. I mean, teacher salary, whatever. But yeah, he decided to step on the end of my shoe once. I'm not sure why. I still don't remember.
I don't remember why.
It could have been an accident. I
believe it was an accident. I was trying to make it to your class. You know, I was so thrilled to get to your class, and I was running late that day. I was trying to get there before you shut the door, and I saw you shutting the door, and I had to beat it in. So I had to use a little bit of athleticism to slide between the door, and unfortunately, your shoe caught the brunt of it.
Yeah, you ripped the end of my shoe off, and I had to teach that way with my toes sticking out. Thank you.
Like, clap 'em.
2 items of clothing you destroyed of mine. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sure, if I knew you longer, it'd be more. But
yeah, well, I mean, you did bring the jacket, so we can start the tradition back over again.
Yeah, you're probably trying to, because I want to buy some of these outfits you have here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're probably going to rip these clothes, so I have to wear them home.
That is a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
All right.
That is a good idea.
All right,
let's
get back to. Sorry, I got us off topic.
That's all right. So let me ask you though, how challenging is it through the course of teaching to change your style of teaching for different students, the different technologies as the times change? How challenging is that for you?
It's amazingly challenging. The thing that I find interesting is how different I am from that first year teacher to 30 plus.
You were just explaining that too. Yeah.
I don't think everything is better. I don't think everything's better. I think there's a point in time where maybe my age is going to start catching up with me. But it's the kids that have changed and their needs and their problems. I saw you have linked Becky Pringle's interview with James Crumble. I said his name wrong. Oh my gosh, he'll kill me. But that was such a great interview that she did, and she talked about the divide too. So in that, and first of all, Becky is one of the most amazing people I've ever known. But she's a
teacher of mine as well.
Yeah, we were colleagues. She's the president of the PSEA, and she talked about in the digital divide that we have students who don't have the Wi-Fi access. Now, I admit, Cumberland, where I teach in Cumberland Valley, probably not as much of that, but we do have it. We have students that are struggling. I have this one girl, every single day her Wi-Fi cuts out like right in the middle. She comes back and she apologizes, and I just want to cry. I'm like, I want to, and she loses her. So you have kids that, have more than others. You have kids that have more money than others. You have kids that still have those social interactions that are uncomfortable. I keep my eye out, especially for bullying, and I think the big difference now is that kids are willing to talk about things more. You and I were talking about how you kept some secrets from me. About the
go ahead.
Well, just the fact that you had a little bit of trouble going on in your life, and you would rather tell me that you were kicked out of your house than to tell me the truth, and that you had a water problem. And I think the kids now are the one thing that's better about kids. I think they're more willing to talk to their teachers and their guides. Yeah,
that's good. That's good because I know. And speaking of that, it was Blizzard '96. Give a Reader's Digest version. The house got flooded. Power got knocked out. So me, my mom, and my sister had to move in with my other sister in the apartment for about a month and a half or so. But to me, that was forever.
Yes.
It was embarrassing to get dropped off to and from school instead of riding the bus with my friends or whatever. And I would not talk about it. I mean, that was an embarrassing situation. So I came up with the story, which sounded better, which I thought at that time sounded way cooler, that I just got kicked out of my house and I'm making it on my own. And he believed it.
Yes.
And he followed up and followed through with it, not me not knowing.
I was getting very close to calling mom to say, come on, I know he's had he can be a little bit trying, but why did you kick him out?
Yeah, and that wasn't even the case.
And when I found out the truth,
and he was upset with me, and I didn't come clean with it. But, I mean, we discussed it. I think we're in a better spot now.
We're in a better spot. I get it now. It's a pride issue.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been, but it was.
I know. Mr. Via.
Okay, that's my friend Ilvi.
Oh.
And this is from his wife, Steph. Steph is an actress, and she's really amazing. And I go watch her all the time.
Okay.
And she says it's fun watching me for a change. She said, yeah, she performs a lot around the area. I think COVID's put a damper on that. But I go to as many things as I can go to see. I love theater. And there's so many things COVID has taken from us.
Yeah, I know. I had playwright Paul Hood on the show.
I know Paul. I know.
Okay. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, you guys are kind of in the same genre for work as well.
Yeah, taught in my district for a while.
Yep. And so he was on the show. He was directing some plays. He wrote some plays. He wrote some books himself. I have one of his books upstairs. But he invited us to a couple plays in New York Theater, and that was supposed to hit February. Then I don't know if that happened or not, but of course COVID happened, and it messed up everything. All the plans we had. We were looking forward to coming and seeing some of his theatrical work. And
I remember reading he was very close to that coming out, right? Oh, that's so sad.
Yep, absolutely.
I know, like even with Steph, I know she's not getting to be in as much. She did do an online. She did a Shakespeare thing, but I know she misses it.
Yeah, I believe that.
I miss it. I miss all that stuff. So
yeah, the world's got to open back up.
Oh, please, sooner than later.
So I know that you were one of my favorite teachers, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
You're one of my favorite students.
I better be. I better be. No.
And I'm very impressed with this amazing woman that you.
Yeah. You saw how she was taking over the show. She used to be very.
She said she was quiet. She actually thinks she had me, and that makes me feel horrible because she must have been that quiet. Because
she is a totally different person from now to then to now.
Yeah.
But I mean, just as when she used to, hi, this is Shayla's showcase. I just want to read off this. Now she's taking it over. Yeah. Now I'm gonna.
She is a personality.
She is.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know how I know how you met your wife through your book. My wife, we've been married since 1991, and the way we met was through the alphabet. So
do tell.
7th grade. You know, my last name is Yohe. Her last name is Zippe.
Oh.
And there was a guy behind us named Zabricki. All right, so what happened was I would turn around, there's this beautiful blonde girl behind me, and this was 7th grade I met her. That's how long we've known each other. And I remember when I finally got the courage to ask her to a dance, I said, we can go do the bump. I mean, that's all we did in 7th grade. I don't know if you ever, it was like you went like this and you touched your butt. And it was the worst dance. No, I'm not going to do the bump.
I missed it. I looked away. Please do it.
So you would go like this and you'd bump your butts, and that was it. And that was like, wow, you touched somebody that way, And then maybe a dance like this. But that was your, and so I asked her if she would go to the dance with me and do the bump. And that was such a horrible way to ask her to the dance. But his rest is history. Since 1991, we're still married, have 2 kids.
Congratulations. Yeah.
She puts up with me.
Yeah, I know that's got to be very challenging, man. Probably not as much now because she's used to you, but in the beginning, I'm pretty sure that was challenging. The younger version of you was a different version.
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging. But when we were first married, we waited a little bit before we had kids. So we did a little traveling back then. We got to go, we used to call ourselves dinks, double income, no kids, but, that period was nice for a while, but then when we had our children, our family-oriented part of a life, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah,
it's great.
I know you like that, and we'll get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you love the traveling. I'm pretty sure you got tons of stories with that as well.
A couple.
Yeah, I bet they're pretty interesting as well. But tell me about gamification.
All right, so that's funny you bring that up. Our school district uses a platform called Schoology, and I know a lot of school districts have whatever platform they're using right now. And what happened was we moved into Schoology, thankfully, way before COVID. Kind of, Cumberland Valley was a little pushy and made sure we all learned how to use it. And I don't know what we would be right now if we hadn't.
Wow.
But there was this weird component of it called gamification.
Okay.
And they were trying to get volunteers to try this. And admittedly, I don't know. I didn't want to do it at first. And this lady works in my district. She kind of pushed me, and there were 2 others. And it ended up being 3 of us. And we had to do all this training on our own and at night. And basically, it was the idea of kids playing their education. I don't want you to think of it as video games.
Okay.
Like, for example, my unit was on trig identities. I know that sounds frilly, but I made it like a treasure hunt. Like they had to like go through, solve problems, and then when they solved the problems, they worked their way through. Sort of like, and I'm not as creative as I'd like to be, but like I did some cool things. Like I had like link. You had to click on links. One time, Mr. Neil Vine, I'd gone to Vegas, and I actually did a trig problem on the big wheel there.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like the kids had to figure out the answers to that to move on to the next level. I was very creative.
Interesting. That sounds fun.
It was fun. The only problem with it so far is that Schoology way we do Schoology is it's on a point system, and the way this has to work is you have to start at 0 and work your way up. But traditional school is you start at like, you start at nothing, you get your grades, and then they just average out. This one, you had to like keep building up, and so the two grading mechanisms didn't work really well. So I haven't got a chance to play with it as much as I want. I'm using some of it this year with COVID though.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
Right.
Coming up when I do identities especially.
I bet it's going to be necessary with COVID. I mean, to kind of implement as well. So
I wished I could be more creative right now because this is the time.
Yeah.
But right now we're in survival mode, Clee. Yeah. It's the only thing. If I didn't have to spend so much time making every assessment online and everything, I would be definitely using more of the gamification. But it was a really good thing to be part of.
So we can expect to see more of it in the
I
future?
hope so. I actually, when I retire, I feel like that might be something I do.
Gotcha.
Try to design it to make it easier for teachers to use.
So is there an actual retirement date that you
there
have?
is.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You seem like you've been going strong, like a choo-choo train.
I was actually, my retirement date was going to be 30 years, which would have been now. Mrs. Charles and I both said that. But my goal now is at least 3 more years. And the reason I say that, Drew will graduate from college in 2. I want to go 1 more year after that. Kathy and I are looking to kind of go live in we're going to stay here. We're going to keep our house here, but we're looking for a beach house.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to write a book.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tell-all.
Yeah. Oh. That sounds interesting.
Clee will have a chapter. It'll be entitled "Names Were Changed to Protect the Guilty."
I want chapter 4.
Oh, you'll get a chapter.
4.
My problem is Mrs. Charles has so many chapters. It's gonna.
I believe it. You guys were inseparable for so many years.
There's so many stories with her.
Yeah. I remember. If it wasn't one in the hall, it was the other. And there was a couple times. I was a good kid, and I was still mischievous at the time. And so if you tried to. Me personally, if I tried to go just from one end of the school to the other and I wasn't supposed to, I always got caught by somebody. and I mean, nothing detrimentally bad happened. It's just like, why get caught?
Because you had a guilt look on your face. I mean, even when you ripped my jacket, your face. I thought that sound was. I thought you were kidding around. You made a sound with your mouth, and then when I saw that it was completely ripped.
That's because I was sorry.
I know. I was sorry. I know you were.
I mean, I told you. I probably wasn't living in the house at the time, so I was cold.
And you couldn't even wear that because it was ripped. Sorry, we gotta stop talking about that.
Yeah, I know. We can't. That's funny now. So you talked about how you became a teacher. I didn't know that you had an electrical engineering degree. I mean,
you said you researched me.
I did, but I didn't go that far.
I don't really talk about that often.
See,
that's what my oldest son has the same degree.
Yeah.
And he needs a job.
You know who you should talk to, introduce him to, or talk to him about? Your former student that you were just talking about before the live. He has an electrical engineering degree.
Because he wants to do entry level. He just wants to get his foot in the door. He's willing to.
I don't know what it's like now in the middle of COVID, but I mean the hospital. Correct me if I'm wrong. The hospital in Lancaster. The hospital in Lancaster. He helped facilitate.
No, York.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Totally different.
Yeah, well, they had opportunities there, but now that COVID happened, I don't know what the opportunities.
See, I remember Tony, and I told you when we were talking earlier that he's one of the smartest students I ever encountered.
Yeah.
I don't know what he thinks of me, but I remember he was like so brilliant. It was
I don't know if he's watching now. If he didn't say something, but I did text him to tell him that you were going to be on the show, and he gave me a thumbs up. Normally, when I give him a text, it gets ignored. So I'm just giving
and
I had his daughter. I had him on the show. I had his 2 daughters on the show.
Okay.
And not to be putting his business out there, but his oldest daughter, he didn't watch that show, but he gave me a thumbs up that you were coming on the show.
All right, well, that's good.
I told on you.
Hopefully he doesn't have bad feelings about it. I didn't need to push him hard. He was just amazing. So
Yeah.
I remember him. That's how I know.
He's tutored me a couple times in math. I remember, and
yeah, one of the smartest people I ever encountered. Seriously,
Yeah,
and that's saying a lot because I've been teaching for a long time.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. So I know you talk. I mean, this is kind of off kilter, but I mean, how many people? Let's just say, who have you taught any students that have made it to higher echelons in life that you can share with us? May have received awards, may have made it to different levels in athleticism programs, organizations, or things like that.
Yeah, quite a few. I like to celebrate the academic, the ones that made it that way. I have several. Keith, my colleague Keith, has so many that have gone on to amazing things with coding. I have a couple of those too, even from back at Susquehanna. That are just moved up the ladder. They at that time, programming was so new. They were at the right place to jump into it. But I also have. We were talking about a student we hung out together. You helped me out. I went to an honor thing. The mayor, Harrisburg mayor, had an award ceremony for him. We were talking about. There's a lot of students, but I want to bring up all the stories I was saying. But there are a lot of. And I mostly celebrate the ones that have jobs that they love, and a certain one named Clee, who I feel like you're like an amazing success.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, again, you see why I bring you. Sometimes you got to bring people on the show for all the right reasons. I'll pay you later.
Yeah, but that's one of the things as a teacher. Students, there are certain students you do maintain connections with. Now, when I first started, there were students that were literally like 4-8 years apart from me. As a student named Robert Bennett, he literally was just a couple years younger than me at the time. And so some of them are friends with me. Mr. Vi actually was a student. Now, he wasn't mine. Mrs. Charles had him. Wow. But, I mean, he was a student in school back then, and we're friends because we're relatively, not that close in age, but close enough.
Still,
So, I maintained some friendships with students from back then. And I'll let students into Facebook after they've graduated, and they'll still ask me for help. I just wrote a letter of recommendation for a student I had 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I just had a student who wanted me to help her. She wants to start teaching math, and she contacted me to give her some pointers. So
interesting. That's got to be a good
You never
feeling.
Stop teaching. That's the thing.
That was going to be my good. So
people never leave your life.
Is that what inspires you to keep moving forward, to keep teaching? And I know it has to be a good feeling to have former students come back and give you praise or ask for a little bit more assistance so they can get to that next level in life. It
is, and I'm not going to lie. Math is one of those topics that is hard for people. And sometimes I am sometimes that, and some of the people who just wrote here, I'm like that physical representation of that thing that punched them in the gut. So there are kids that hate me, and I understand that. But there are kids too that I pushed and saw something in them they didn't see in themselves, and they write to me and let me know that. And I would say at least once a month, sometimes more, I'll get a student I maybe didn't even remember that will find me and message me and say something like that. I had a student named Colin just the other day who told me some things about the past that what I did to influence him, and I was like, wow. Yeah. So and that's part. You asked me why do I keep doing this? That's why. It's the interactions with students, and I had opportunities to teach adults. I like kids because you know what? They're genuine. They'll tell you what's on their mind. They're not afraid to say things. Adults, I remember I had to teach this computer class to adults. I remember that this one lady was actually afraid if she hit the enter key, the computer was going to explode. Kids aren't afraid to try anything. Yeah. That's why it works. That's why I love teaching kids. Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. I know. I've coached Little League, Midget League football for 7 years, and I enjoyed coaching the little guys so much because at that they're still learning the game. Right. They're still innocent. They're still impressionable, and they're still not to each his own. They were still fun. It was very fun to me to watch. Okay, what is this position, and why does this person go here? And it was a very valid question. It was very pure, and to actually explain it at the simplest level and coach it, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I do understand.
I can imagine you being an amazing coach too.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun doing it. I had a lot of fun. So 7 years was a good shot. I know coaches that done it for 20 at that level. I know coaches that did it for only 2. I think 7 was the perfect number for me.
I think so. Like I said, like 30 years of teaching, it's getting to the point where I think they need new blood.
Yeah.
I try to change with the times. Some people think that, that I'm still doing things that are great. I also feel like I'm doing things that are outdated. So, I feel like at some point I'm ready to move on to do something else. So I'm saying 3 more years.
Gotcha.
I'll put a date on it.
So one thing that you also shared with me, and I'm gonna throw that out there too, is that you have things. It's dated, but you have old material that you still use to this day.
Yes.
One of that is James Colston, a friend of mine as well.
You
where
knew this.
he had submitted, I guess, a picture.
He submitted this amazing picture. It was great. And I don't know exactly. If I actually tried to find it for today, but when I get to that unit, I still have it saved somewhere in my files. And the artwork was just spectacular. I still remember it was a house. He had these trees. The only thing is he had drawn the angle just a little off, and he kind of made the tree a mile high. But other than that, it did in the picture. If you did this, the math, it's like I keep that because it was so cool. I still have that art from that class.
Interesting.
Some other students too, but I remember specifically having James Colston's trig drawing. I just remember it. I don't know why. I just remember having that.
Bookmarking the life.
Yeah.
So now we get to talk about the fun stuff that you want to talk about, vacations and cruises. How many, do you even know? How many cruises have you been on?
I've only been on 5 cruises.
Oh, really? Thought you'd be a platinum member.
What I like to do, 5's a lot though, 5's a lot, but I like to, my wife and I have this thing where we wanted to have something as a family that we do unique every year. It's not about spending money either. Like sometimes we just would go to Virginia Beach and just have a nice time. But as a family, we like to try going to lots of different places. And so we cruising definitely was the greatest. But Universal Studios in Florida was like the best. So, and also Vegas. I love going to Vegas.
Okay. All right.
I've been to Vegas a lot lately. Actually.
Really?
Yes. I actually went twice this year. My wife had a conference there.
Oh, man, so that made it even better for you.
Like, I never take off teaching. She's like, and I had just been in Vegas with Neil, and she's like, I have a conference in February. I said, well, you know what? I think I have to go. So, and that was right before COVID.
Oh, so you really, So
and we had
the last hurrah.
We also did a Christmas cruise right before COVID. And that was because my wife she had her birthday in July on the cruise. I said, my birthday's the day after Christmas. I'm like, well, you know what? This might be the last chance to do this. Let's go for a Christmas cruise. We can both have our birthdays on a cruise ship.
That's cool.
And so
for the same year?
But we never do 2 big trips in a year. But thank goodness, because there's not been one since.
Yeah.
In this COVID world, So yeah, it worked out.
I never pictured you as a Vegas guy. So are you a card guy or slot machine?
I like poker slot machines. I just like Vegas though. I know it's probably surprising. I like Vegas. I like I like going. They're all closed now, but I love going to the shows there. There's some spectacular shows. It's just it's a fake place.
Yeah.
My life's so hard. I need to go somewhere where it's not real anymore.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Whoa! He just now saw that. There we go. We gotta fix that thing right there.
No.
Something's going on Sunday there, buddy.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna do that, I'm just gonna have to put my mask on.
You can cut the camera off, please.
No,
the show's
not
over.
for that.
It's upside down.
It's not. It's right.
I even wait.
Oh,
this. I even wear a Steelers medallion.
That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So this is kind of cool that we have a big game coming up against each other. I'm glad the interview was before this game because
well, I mean, you would still been invited. It's just been
I don't know.
Your feelings would be hurt.
Oh,
your feelings would be hurt.
We'll see.
Your feelings would have just been hurt.
On Christmas Day a couple years ago, my entire family, my wife had never been to a Steelers game, and Drew had never been. Josh and I had gone to quite a few, and we all went on Christmas Day and saw that amazing game, the one where Antonio Brown, just got that in there. You don't want to hear this, and knocked off this team. What was the name of that team we knocked off that year? Let me think.
You mean the one where Eric Weddle didn't smack the ball out of his hand?
Was it Baltimore? But
I know what touchdown you're talking about.
And
that one hurts.
Wait, I have a picture though. I know you can't see pictures from here. Wait, I have a picture of that. Is that in here somewhere? Let's see. I brought some.
Excuse me. Tech.
I don't know if. It's not handy.
Oh well.
You don't want to see this picture anyway.
Nope.
I thought I had. Oh, it's furs. Look at this. Look at this. Where's your camera?
I know
Does
it's
it
not
show
working.
up?
No, it's
It's
not
not
showing
showing up. Where's
I'll
it?
tell you.
Actually,
So there's the four of us at the Steelers game on Christmas. Yeah. You want to rip that up, don't
I
you?
do, but I don't want to. You know, you got a good-looking family there, so I'll be respectful just for that reason and that reason only.
I'm sorry to bring up that rivalry, but other than ripping my jacket, we have to have something else to have a rivalry about.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about, I guess, on November 2nd, Monday. We'll talk about my win.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna overhype it.
We should have,
It's gonna be a great game,
we should do a little gentleman's bet.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
A
new leather jacket.
When I yeah, a purple jacket.
What the?
If you win, I wear apparel you pick, and if I win, you wear an apparel that I pick.
My problem is you would make me wear Baltimore gear as a teacher, and
Absolutely, a tie or something.
My students know I'm a diehard Steelers fan. My whole room's decorated.
Oh well. This might be the break, the rejuvenate, the extra 3 years that you're looking for.
I will wear Baltimore colors one day teaching.
Okay, all right,
and then on your show.
Wow.
One of your shows.
Wow.
You have to wear
show?
Steelers colors.
We have to do a show with that?
I love it.
I think that's the bet.
I didn't
What do you think?
that far ahead.
She's witnessing it.
You know I'm all for it.
Although that's going to make something very stressful for me, and I'm already stressed out with this COVID teaching stuff. But
I think that's a good bet. 'Cause I'm that confident.
So I'm that confident in my Steelers.
Air shake.
Air shake.
Oh, we're shaking. There we go. You did.
We had to shake on that one. All right, I will wear Baltimore colors to teach in. You will do your show in Steelers colors.
Yeah,
all right,
that's fine.
All right,
so you heard, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it.
You heard it here. Unfortunately, that means some people that I work with know that I have to live it up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, some
other stuff you can wear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Scarf, hat.
I have a friend that will get me the Baltimore stuff too.
We got to move on with the
Okay,
show.
all right, sorry.
You know, we're
You
talking
started
about
this.
some nonsense right now.
All right.
If you know, I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Then we talked about vacations and cruises. I mean, you got a stack of pictures. You want to show the other pictures off?
Well, how about the pictures I brought were just to
Were
make
they
me.
purple?
No, the pictures were just to keep me in case I forgot some stuff.
Gotcha.
I was just gonna, and I'm not gonna show all these pictures, but one of the categories that I thought we could talk about is I said something about Stranger Things. I have a light, right? We were going to talk about this, and we're running late on time, I'm assuming.
It's okay, we're fine. No, we're fine.
All right, so on Stranger Things, there are a couple things I want to talk about. One, and I don't want to cut up on Central Dauphin or anything, but they have a policy where if a kid's nominated for prom homecoming court, they're not allowed to come back out on the field. So they have to get a replacement person to stand in for them for the ceremony.
Okay.
So my son Drew was asked by the football player who was on the homecoming court to stand in for him because his date, who was on the homecoming court, was like his best friend in the whole world. Drew's best friend. So it was like, Drew's like, oh, I'll do it. Yeah. But Drew didn't go to the thing where you learn how to put the hat on or anything like, because, it's just standing in, right? So she was the shoe-in to win queen.
Okay.
And Drew was okay with that. He's like, I'll be proud. I'll walk her up. She gets the queen,
cool. Yeah.
They announced the football player as the homecoming king, and Drew had to go out and put this. Look at this. They put the hat on. That's Drew, and he had to be. And that's not the worst part. Here's the worst part. I had friends at this game who were like, "Why aren't your parents there?" I was criticized for not caring. My son was crowned homecoming king, and I wasn't there. He wasn't crowned homecoming king. You understand? I love him to death. He did the right thing, but I had people call. My mom was mad at me. She's like, "Jay, you weren't there for your son." I said, "You don't understand. It's a stand-in." But they had the crown on. Of course, that game was televised. I had friends call me up. Why is there no parents there for him?
Who are those strangers standing behind them?
It was. And again, Stranger Things, because only me, I'm going to have a son that gets crowned king, and I'm not there to celebrate it, and it made me look really, really, really bad.
Oh man, that is a funny story though.
I have one more story. I got to talk about cruising. Again, Stranger Things. You're on a cruise. Okay, you have some beverage, and you eat things you probably shouldn't eat. So. I decided to, I had too much of that, and I had an acid stomach. And there was a water, not as nice as this Stark water, but this is big, giant water, right? And Kathy, I use these little acid pills. They're like pink, white things. I won't say what brand it is. So I took this big thing of water and I swallowed the pill. And then her and I went walking around the cruise ship. It was a beautiful afternoon. Everything was great. We get up to the front of the boat, and the water was pretty well gone. And right when I drink this last sip, there's this something comes in my mouth from the water. Disgusting. You're like, oh, what is this? And I coughed it out, and in front of all these people, my wife wanted to die. And it flew out onto the ship, in front of all these people, this big bloated pill. And instead of realizing that the pill went to the bottom of the bottle and never went in my stomach, well, you know what I say out loud? Oh, that's why I still have an acid stomach. My wife was so embarrassed because everyone's looking at me, and she started crying, I started crying, we had to run away. I just thought, that's why my acid never went away. It had bloated up because it was in the bottom of the bottle, and it never went in my... Anyway, that was pretty disgusting. I don't know why I told that story.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But
I
just
appreciate you being vulnerable enough to share that.
I have all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, I might make fun of you about that later.
All right, but here's the worst.
What's up?
Well, there's two bad ones, but I have to tell you about this.
Please do.
All right, do you recognize this picture? Do you know who she is? You want to show that to your audience?
I do
See if
not.
knows who that is.
Anyone,
That is,
takers?
do you know who that is? That is 11 from Stranger Things. That's 11.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
and it takes place in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the outfit she's wearing?
Yes.
All right. So what happened was that outfit, she wore that outfit for, I think, 3 of the episodes at the end. And it was brought to my attention that in the 80s, which when this was supposed to be taking place, somebody had that same outfit. Are you ready? I don't know. First of all, I have hair in that picture. I have the exact same shirt as 11, and somebody found this picture. That's me and Kathy. See, we were together then. And what was my fashion sense that I had that shirt on to begin with, let alone the exact same shirt as 11 in Stranger Things.
Wow.
Crazy,
You were ahead of your time.
No, I was way behind my time. That's the thing. That was, I had to share it with you. That's why
That's great.
Stranger things that happened to me, there's just tons of them. And I'll give you one last one. I promise the last one.
All right. I got to share something with you.
All right, this is my last one. I have many I could tell, but this is probably a good one to talk about. You talked about me having managed a swimming team, a swimming pool. Excuse me, not team. My son was an amazing swimmer, and we were at districts, and I was sitting with this lady named Karen. She might be watching. I don't know. I didn't tell her about this tonight, so she probably isn't. But Karen,
even more trouble now.
So Wilson is this team, these parents that are really serious about sports. And there's this event in swimming called the 200 free. And I'll be honest, boring. It goes forever, right? It's the long, and it just takes forever. And so what happened was the first heat, now the third heat's your fastest heat. So this is the slow heat. And these Wilson parents were behind me. And they were screaming like it was the Super Bowl. Screaming, like it was loud, but I'm fine with it. I mean, they have the right to do that. And Karen, who was sitting right next to me, the worst part is me and Karen both had shirts on with our sons' names on the back. Her son's name is Nick, my son's Josh. So our backs are facing these Wilson fans. And Karen says, there's a hesitation where you ever have that moment where it's really loud and then it got really, they were ready to start the next race, and so it got dead silent. And Karen says, whoosh, it's not the Olympics. Well, instantly the Wilson fans wanted us dead. They looked at her, and I'm guilty by association. I wouldn't say something like that. I have the same shirt on as her. I remember my face turning to pure...
And they wanted blood, huh?
Oh my gosh. I think eventually, it was very uncomfortable for her, and I actually switched down a few seats, got away from her. But that's not the worst part. At that exact moment, Penn Live took a photo. They caught the moment. I know this is hard to believe, and I have the picture. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna hold this straight or not. All right, what do you see behind me? Are the Wilson people cheering? My face of her just saying, "Whoosh! It's not the Olympics," knowing that my life's about to be over. There's the photo. Can you see me down there in the front? The guy between, there's Karen. She has the same shirt on as me. You can tell she looks horrified. She's in trouble as well. That was one of the worst moments of my life. And I remember thinking at the time, well, at least, the next day it's a memory. No, it's on Penn Live. It was like the big photo they had on. Can you believe it?
And this guy back here.
Look at their face. I know. All right.
That's great.
I know.
That's
I just
great.
had to share that with you because
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I know.
That's beautiful.
I could go on and on with these types of stories because that's what my life is. It's Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
I just picked a couple.
Man.
I know.
Man.
Thought you needed to laugh.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You're always good for a laugh or 2 or 5. Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I know. I see some of your Facebook comments, and you're the reason. And this is a good one. You're the reason why I binge watched the series The Boys.
Oh my gosh, wasn't it great?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, The Boys is one of the most amazing things that's ever been on TV.
I got to watch. I had.
I mean, it's vile
It is. It's very. It is. And
in an entertaining way.
It is. And the way people get hurt or things get eradicated from the series is very grotesque.
You don't know it's coming either.
No, you don't.
Nothing comes the way you want it to.
I like the different look on the different angle or perspective on the superheroes.
Ron Porter loves it too.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, we had some discussions about it. Yeah, we were texting back and forth. It's wrong on so many levels, but entertaining is what, especially in the line of COVID, you can't take everything seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And that show actually got me through the first few weeks of teaching this year because they put a new episode out every Friday.
Okay.
And that was my stress release.
Wow. See, I was lucky enough after I watched season 1 week and I watched season 2 the very next week.
You binged them together.
Yep, I got
I binged season 1 because they put it out once, but season 2 they put out every Friday, which I kind of liked this time because I needed that. I'd worked that horrible week and
something to look forward to. I'm like, okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, that's a great show.
Yeah, there's movies.
Breaking Bad was a great show too.
I didn't get in. I saw the first 2 episodes. I know that those normally the kickers. That didn't do it for me.
Yeah, but you're right. The Boys is just escapist. It's about superheroes if they decide to be villains, or they wanted to be mega famous and or make money and stuff.
Make money and be famous. Yeah, it shows that angle. I started watching. This is years ago now. The Walking Dead because of you.
Oh, Walking Dead.
And I got caught up from season 1. Well, I stopped watching after they finally caught Negan. That was my goal. Once the prison was my favorite part of the series itself. But when they finally caught Negan, I haven't seen an episode since.
I kind of like Negan.
Yeah.
I know I have friends that don't. They overdid him. They made him a little too unrealistic, but I still watch that. Some of the spin-offs aren't as good, but
I watched one, the one that's supposed to take place in California. I forget what it's called. I didn't get into that.
Some are okay, some aren't. But yeah, the original Walking Dead is good.
Yeah, interesting. See, they'll have an effect on entertainment. You're a very funny guy.
There's no movies to talk about anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there are a couple, but not like the past.
I'm reduced to watching what's streaming on Amazon or Amazon Prime now to see what's going on, or Netflix.
I do have a theater in my house, so when I do have to watch it at home, it's pretty fun.
Oh, wow.
You have to come over.
Yeah, I've never got the invite before. But, there we go. Yeah.
We should watch this tonight.
I'm gonna wear a pair of ripped shoes and
it's awesome
jacket.
to wear the Steelers in there. Though. It's really awesome.
I'm allergic. So I'll break out. Never mind.
Unfortunately, you're gonna be forced to watch them this week for you.
I'm gonna be forced to watch the Ravens.
No.
You gotta. What side of the coin are we talking about?
Steelers.
Talking about heads.
Go
Steelers.
Heads. Okay.
So we talked about a lot of fun things. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about or discuss or share?
I think I feel like I have way overdone it here. People are like, quit talking. So
I don't have any comments saying quit talking, so there we go.
That's because everyone's gone by now. What the heck? No, but it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for getting me to do this. Mostly it was I just want to come talk to you. I didn't necessarily need to do it in this format, but it was fun.
Hey, well, I appreciate that in itself. Yeah.
And just remember what I said, like, teachers really need support right now. And so do the students. It's so hard for them. Some of them, it's hard. I had a next student say, if I was in a situation some of them are in, all I would do is be playing Xbox. And his point being that it is hard for kids to be independent and do what they're supposed to. They're young still. So think about the kids, think about the teachers, and think about this whole thing ending as soon as possible.
Yes, yeah. My buddy Jamal just chimed in. He said, great live. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Mr. Yohe, I do these shows because I put on to put on. You know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you're looking at me like you know what's coming.
I'm scared.
No, it's nothing. So I basically put on to put on. So let me know how I can help you guys. Anyone who's watching the replay. If you've got a business, a product, or positive message that you're looking to get a platform to get that information out on, please inbox me, text me, get a hold of me, and I'll schedule you an appointment to put you in the hot seat right here. We'll schedule you an appointment to get you in the lab, tell everyone to get their pen and their pad, and we're going to get that information out there and have fun while we do it.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let me know how I can help. I want everyone to pursue their passion and evolve so hard. Mr. Yohe, you know what? I'd be lying right now to say if I had a guest scheduled for next week. I'd be lying, so I can't actually do my next part. Because I don't have a guest scheduled for next week. The slot is still available, but I guarantee you I'll fill it.
You will.
So when I find whoever's going to fill it, you know who it's going to be? Do you have an idea who it may be?
No idea.
Well, then, I guess you have to tune in and see.
I have to tune in and see.
But I do have a gift. This is from me to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. For donating your time to come on the show. It's up to you. It's yours now. It's in your possession.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The Stark Waters.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
I don't mess around.
Now, you know, I ordered Grudge, so I needed this one.
That's why you scared me for a minute.
I didn't
want
get
to
that
say
one.
that. When you said, I ordered
I have
your
Grudge,
second,
but I don't have that one.
Now you got the whole set.
You're awesome.
For now, at least.
For
There's
now.
more coming.
More coming. I'll be reading them.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. And thank you for coming on the show. You know, we all got to evolve so hard, but there's one more thing that we have to do that I didn't discuss with you. We have to do the money dance. That's how we say goodbye.
All right, what's the money dance?
It's not the bump.
Oh, no. Would you stop it about the bump?
What is it?
If you and hard enough on the bump? Okay, wait, let's not go there. I'm so sorry. Please, let's not send this before I say anything else.
This started rated G and turned into the episode of The Boys.
Where is your son at?
He's upstairs. He probably got his headphones on.
So sorry.
That when he watches the replay, he'll.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. You're gonna have to edit that out.
Okay, yes, please.
No, we gotta leave with the money dance. The money dance is bam, 2 fingers.
Okay.
And we're shaking them. That's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker, Coach Clee, coming at you. Make sure you tune in next week. We had a wonderful live. We love you. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Have a good night. Peace.
See ya.